David wasn't Miguel. His touch was silk compared to Miguel's rough hands, his voice a soothing melody against Miguel's gravelly one. He was everything Miguel wasn't: safe, predictable, and forbidden. The bar lights blurred as we stumbled towards the back, a dark corner promising anonymity. His lips found mine, hungry and desperate, a stark contrast to Miguel's slow, deliberate kisses. My traitorous hands explored his tailored suit, the feel of him sending a jolt straight to my core. Shame gnawed at me. But in that moment, all I craved was the escape of his touch, the oblivion his kiss offered. It was a betrayal fueled by loneliness, a fleeting moment of passion that would have devastating consequences. I was 18, a choir girl with a voice that could soothe angels when I met him, Miguel. He wasn't your typical church-going boy. He was a shadow in the corner booth of the diner across the street, all hard lines and brooding stares. He scared me, yet there was a vulnerability in his eyes that drew me in. We started talking, stolen moments after choir practice, and soon, the smoky diner became our haven. Miguel was everything I wasn't: rough, street smart, and part of a gang. The fear gnawed at me, but his touch, a calloused hand brushing mine, sent shivers down my spine. His eyes held a story of darkness and a yearning for something more. He started changing. The late nights stopped, replaced with stolen Bible studies in the quiet of the church. He got his GED, the pride in his eyes a mirror to my own. Every hurdle he crossed tightened the invisible thread between us. We were falling in love, defying the odds with every stolen glance and whispered word. Then, the past came knocking. A night fueled by old rivalries ended with Miguel in handcuffs, the despair in his eyes echoing the hollowness in my heart. My visits to the jail were filled with hushed promises and the ache of stolen time. Vulnerability gnawed at me. One evening, at the bar where I worked, a man named David walked in. He was everything Miguel wasn't: polished, articulate, with eyes that held a promise of forever. It was a moment of weakness, a desperate need for a touch that wasn't laced with prison bars. We fell into a world of whispered secrets and stolen kisses. It started slow, a tentative exploration that quickly ignited into something urgent. His lips were warm and tasted faintly of whiskey, a delicious counterpoint to the salt of my tears that lingered on my cheeks. His hand slid down my back, sending shivers dancing across my skin. He unfastened a button on my dress. A silent question met with a breathless nod. We stumbled out of the bar, the cool night air a welcome shock against our heated bodies. The city lights seemed to blur as we pressed against each other in the alleyway, his mouth trailing fire down my neck. He cupped my face, his thumb brushing away a wayward tear. "Let's go somewhere quieter," he murmured, his voice a husky caress. We found ourselves in his apartment, a haven of clean lines and muted tones. Clothes fell away in a whirlwind of tangled limbs and stolen glances. His touch was confident, sending a thrill through me with every brush of his fingertips. He explored my body with a reverence that both surprised and delighted me. Every touch felt deliberate, building a delicious tension that crackled in the air. It wasn't love, just a fleeting escape that tasted of regret and shame. News of Miguel's release brought a flood of relief. We married quickly, eloping to a beach town where the sand whispered promises of a new beginning. He worked 2 jobs, his love for me fueling his ambition. The news of my pregnancy brought tears to his eyes, tears of joy that mirrored my own. The day our daughter Isabella was born was a storm of emotions. Holding her in my arms, a perfect bundle of innocence, my heart overflowed with love. Then came the doctor's grim voice. The words, "double hysterectomy," shattering the joy. Months in the hospital followed, a blur of pain and anxiety. Miguel was my rock, his strength carrying me through the darkness. He became both mother and father to Isabella. He read her bedtime stories in goofy voices, braided her stubborn curls, and kissed away her scraped knees. He started his own business, his determination a force to be reckoned with. We moved to the suburbs, a picture-perfect family with a white picket fence and a dog named Sparky. Years rolled by and life settled into a comfortable rhythm. Then, everything unraveled. Isabella, my sweet girl, turned 13. She became sullen, the light in her eyes dimming. I tried reaching out, assuring her it was just a phase, but the distance grew. The quinceañera, Isabella's 15th birthday celebration, was supposed to be a night of joy. As Miguel and Isabella waltzed, his smile faltered, replaced by a look of dawning horror. He pulled out her tablet displaying messages revealing a secret I'd kept buried deep: the affair with David, the truth about Isabella's parentage. The room fell silent. Miguel's face contorted with pain. He felt betrayed not just by me, but by the daughter he'd raised as his own. He exposed the truth in front of everyone, shattering the carefully constructed facade of our lives. I tried to explain, to beg for forgiveness, but he was beyond reason. The man who had forgiven me for everything, loved me despite my choices, was gone. He filed for divorce, sold our business, and cut off all financial support. I was left with the wreckage of our lives. Isabella, angry and confused, refused to talk to me. The house, once filled with laughter, echoed with the deafening silence of his absence. The regret sits heavy in my chest, a constant companion. My one moment of weakness shattered everything. Miguel, the man who walked away from gang life for me, became the perfect husband and father only to have it all ripped away. Sometimes I see a ghost of the man he was reflected in my daughter's eyes. The stubborn glint, the kindness that shines through her anger. Maybe one day she'll forgive me. Maybe he will. But for now, I'm left picking up the pieces of a life I shattered, haunted by the consequences of a single night.